Fit Organics, Miss Julie Lieff has taken over our studio on Mind and Body Monday, and today we want to talk about your poo, my poo, poo. It's not a bad thing to talk about your poo.
No, it's really important actually that people know what to expect when it comes to their bathroom habits. And if you are constantly going between, really quick trips to the bathroom versus no trips to the bathroom versus bloating and gassiness in your stomach, you really need to take a closer look at what's going on because you could have irritable bowel syndrome, you could have inflammatory bowel disease, there's Crohn's disease, there's ulcerative colitis, and there are 4 different disease processes or issues that people can have, and one is more serious than the other. The least serious.
So basically, though, you have to look at your poo.
Yeah, it's important to look at your poo. It's important to look at how often you're going, and it shouldn't be a painful thing, and it shouldn't be a crampy thing, and it should just be a very natural part of your day. In fact, if your colon is really super healthy, you should be going about every time you eat. Maybe not every single time, but really 3 times a day is not unusual for a lot of people, and is actually a sign that your body is moving things and moving toxins out.
Ooh.
So
So eating unhealthy food
yes.
really does clog you up.
It does for a lot of people. Dairy can slow people down. There's a lot of processed foods that can slow you down. Alternatively, some people find that dairy makes them go and leads to a lot of gut problems because they can't break down the protein that's in the dairy. Wheat is the same way. It used to be that we thought that whole wheat was good and all that roughage was good for our bowels, but it's not necessarily the case. And so what's really important is to take note of what you're eating, take note of when your problems are. Try and eliminate wheat and dairy. Don't eliminate everything all at once, or if you do eliminate everything all at once, add stuff back really slowly. Try dairy 1 week. I got to
go back to this, Julie, because I can't tell you, since I have been doing Fit Organics since January, I have not had dairy and I have not had wheat.
Right. That's right.
And I can't believe how much healthier I am.
Absolutely. It makes a huge, huge difference with what you're fueling your body. And some people find that they can have a lot of bowel issues, but those issues go away when they eliminate certain things from their diets. And so it's not a bad idea to get the advice of a homeopath or a naturopath or even a good nutritionist. A holistic nutritionist can a lot of the time help you. You might not need to seek help from a medical professional per se, but if you're having symptoms, you really want to get them checked out.
Is there a food that is really good for your bowels?
Gosh, is there one food? I'd have to think about that. Probably the best thing for your bowels actually is hydration. It's probably straight up 8 glasses of water a day.
Water.
Yep. Without the water, you're going to get dehydrated. And one of the jobs of our bowel, actually, especially our lower intestine, is to take water out of our waste matter. So when people have problems and the waste is going through them very quickly, we're not absorbing nutrients. Alternatively, when waste isn't going through quickly and we're constipated, the waste is just sitting there in our guts, literally, and staying and staying and staying, and we're not getting rid of those toxins. So that's why constipation is as bad as diarrhea. You really need to get on it if you're having one or the other or both of those things.
When we get back, we were talking to Julie Lieff from Fit Organics. Check her out online. She is amazing. She is a nutritionist. She is a dietitian. She is a nurse. She is a fitness trainer, and she is a chef. She's very good. www.fitorganics.com.
Whenever you're ready.
We are back with Fit Organics on this Mind and Body Monday, and we're talking about what your poo is telling you. Now, funny enough, I have to tell you something. Here we go. I'm going to put it all out there right now. We're talking about
Go
poo.
for it. Go for it. The world's waiting.
So, I tend to eat beets once in a while because I get beets in Fit Organics.
And then you're afraid you're dying the next day.
And I swear to God, I think that's a wrap and I'm dying.
That's it.
Beets go through you and it comes out bloody, it looks like.
Beets are very cleansing. We call that cleansing. So that's another thing we should talk about. There are a lot of healthy foods that can go through you really rapidly. And of course, they're the pretty much known ones like beets, and whether they're pickled, boiled, baked, it doesn't matter. They do tend to move through you faster. And
it comes out red.
And it comes out
not
red.
to panic.
Not to panic. Yeah, you kind of have to remember what you've eaten.
Right, but the reality is if you don't eat beets and red stuff is coming out, that's not good.
Yes. I always say there's very, very few times in your life that it's normal to be bleeding. And that's if like you cut yourself, or for our female listeners, you know when that time is right. So if you're seeing blood, it's probably not the best thing. Now, it doesn't mean you're dying. Blood can be there because you have hemorrhoids. Blood can be there because you've got irritation or like a ruptured blood vessel somewhere. It shouldn't be a lot of blood, but if you see a lot of blood, go to the hospital. If you see a little bit of blood, don't panic, but do get to your doctor. It might just be because of constipation. It might be a hemorrhoid. But
it's good to talk about your poo.
It is really important. Everybody's embarrassed by the subject, and it's important to have a good doctor that you're very comfortable with, or nurse practitioner who you can talk about your poo. Now, if you are seeing blood in your stools on a regular basis, get checked out. And it doesn't mean that you have to go the full gamut and get a colonoscopy, which, by the way, they make you very, very comfortable for. They give you lots of meds, and that's not a bad thing in a controlled environment. Trust me, it's not a painful thing. However, they can do something even milder than that, and it's called a stool occult blood test. What they do is they check your stool for blood, and they can tell from those blood cells whether it came from higher up in your system, from lower in your system. Is it fresh blood? Where is it coming from? What is it doing? And so they can tell right away, this is something we need to look into further, or, no, you probably just ate something bad on the weekend and your tummy's a little bit upset. So there's a lot of things they can do to find out why your stomach is upset and if they need to investigate further.
And like you said earlier, if you do catch this fast enough, you will save your life.
Yeah, we were talking off air, and it's really important. Stage 1 colon cancer. Now, IBS and IBD and all those other things don't necessarily mean you have cancer or will ever get cancer. However, cancer detection, like all cancer detections, is really key. And this is one that's not caught often because doctors go, it's probably hemorrhoids, because they might be a little bit embarrassed about it. And people don't really talk about it because they think that constipation and diarrhea intermittently are, part of a regular day for them, and they really ought not to be. So then, stage 1, the success rate for survival is like 90%. So if they catch it early, no issues. Once you get into stage 2 and 3s, because the mucosal lining of your intestine is thin, it can go to other organ systems really quickly. Stage 3, we're talking a lot lower survival rate. We're talking like 60s. And stage 4B, one of the worst and furthest sort of gone cancers that you can get, that mortality rate is very, very high. In fact, about 5 years after the original diagnosis, there's only about 8 or 15% survivors of the disease at that point in time. And it's really a shame because it is a very curable disease if it's caught early.
There is a book. It's called What Is Your Poo Telling You? I swear to God, I have a copy of it. You need to get a copy. Don't be embarrassed. Save your life. It
Listen to your
simple.
poo.
That's
Listen
right.
to your guts. Love your guts.
That's right. Check out Fit Organics, www.fitorganics.com to check out Julie Lieff and her amazing, delicious company. I do love your guts.